A Nike employee or a former Nike employee who is making the rounds with a video that is now circulating the internet, talking about the situation involving Nike, CaitlinClark, the slow play that they're doing, even doing so much to show how their stock is falling off the shelf. And let's talk about this video. You may have seen it by now. I'm going to show it to you again, but it's a former 15-year employee at Nike in the women's division, and
CaitlinClark just changed everything and shook up the sneaker world. She may have even made Nike nervous after Adidas made such a bold move that it probably made LeBron double-check his contract. Caitlin didn't just respond, she made a huge statement. Now, fans are freaking out, Twitter is blowing up, and sneaker lovers are rethinking their choices. What did she say? Why is Nike worried? And did Adidas just make the biggest steal of the century? Get ready, because this is going to be big.
Such a big game for Caitlin, her returning to her alumni in Iowa and her hitting that massive logo 3, the logo 3 during the game, that some of her sponsors would want to show her support on social media, do any sort of marketing to uplift her and uplift their brand. And one who did do that was Gatorade. They tweeted a photo of her and they said, "Real home court advantage. Welcome back to Iowa, CaitlinClark." Now, one of her lead sponsors that was noticeably quiet yesterday was Nike. And a lot of people were tweeting about this. They were wondering, why isn't Nike and Nike basketball, why are none of their accounts saying anything about this? Yes, it's a preseason game, but this is a huge day for Caitlin. She's returning to her alum.
CaitlinClark didn't just show her skills on the court, she also brought serious proof against Nike, without even trying. Now, the famous Nike swoosh isn't looking like a sign of greatness, but more like a check mark sinking under broken promises. And yes, it's true, Nike didn't keep their part of the deal. The same brand known for creating sports endorsements is now ignoring one of its biggest rising stars, like someone avoiding a bad Tinder date.
Nike, we need to talk about CaitlinClark. Let's you and me talk about CaitlinClark, since you refuse to talk about CaitlinClark. I care deeply about you. I spent over a decade in your marketing organization. I spent several years trying to get into your organization, and it's been 3 years since I left your company. I'm just here as a friend. I care about you. I want to show you two different charts here. One, your stock price since 2021. It is down nearly 60%. Your executives and the people who are making these decisions, their stock options are worthless. Meanwhile, you have the single biggest needle mover in all of American sports since Michael Jordan, and you have somehow convinced yourself that you need to slow play this. Let me show you Google Trends search traffic for 4 female basketball players. There is one who only rivals CaitlinClark, and that is Angel Reese, and you do not have her. She is over at Reese.
Let's be real, CaitlinClark is the biggest star in women's basketball right now, and Nike treated her like she didn't matter. You don't give a once-in-a-generation talent a week offer while hyping up everyone else like they're the next Michael Jordan. Especially not when Adidas is out here flexing with stacks of cash, ready to invest big in women.
How in the world is Nike not going full-on CaitlinClark phenomenon? You've got the most popular women's athlete in the world. Do they still not have a CaitlinClark shoe out? My mind is blown by this. The minute that she started playing in the WNBA, you should have rolled out for every little girl in America the CaitlinClark ones. And that should have been the baddest ass women's tennis shoe that has ever been.
And Adidas? They're not just sitting back, they're moving fast, like a cat chasing laser pointers. The moment Caitlin's team seemed even a little unhappy with Nike, Adidas jumped in like, "Hey, we've got your own shoe line, custom colors, and unlimited respect." They didn't just send flowers, they sent a whole sneaker bouquet, along with a full marketing team ready to make her as big as Taylor Swift in a gym packed with Swifties.
A lot of conversation has been made around CaitlinClark, her signature shoe, the Nike deal, and with how much Nike has been dragging their behind, how much Nike has been moseying to the finish line when it comes to pushing the CaitlinClark button, fans started speculating maybe this deal isn't as official as we thought it was. We get no signature shoe, no news of a shoe all season long. We get no merchandise all season long. We get no commercial all season.
Caitlin, it's time to dump Nike, like ditching a bad haircut right before prom. You're not just another player, you're the moment. If Nike can't see that, hand them a mirror and walk away with a perfect jump shot. Here's the real deal. If Caitlin signs with Adidas, her shoes wouldn't just sell, they'd completely crush the sales charts. Forget Wilson, Caitlin's sneakers would outsell them 10-1, and honestly, that's a low estimate. Kids would be flipping them on StockX faster than you can say, step back 3. They'd be showing up to school in Clark ones like they're wearing legendary treasures. Grandmas would be camping outside Foot Locker again, like it's 1996 and the Air Jordans just dropped. Nike forgot who they're dealing with. Caitlin isn't a passing trend, she's the future of the league. And instead of building her an empire, they handed her a weak shoe deal with the same energy as a maybe RSVP to your wedding. Huge mistake. When fans found out, they went wild. Hashtags blew up, threads exploded, NBA players threw shade, and SportsCenter insiders suddenly had a lot to say. And can we talk about that Angel Reese promo photo for a second? Why just one photo? Why that weird editorial style that makes it look like she's walking off the set of a 2010 reality show reunion?
CaitlinClark's Nike deal might be the worst endorsement deal in the history of professional sports. You guys remember this billboard that was put up in Iowa? Well, that's one of the last times that Nike has done anything for CaitlinClark. They promoted her more in college than they have at all the entirety of the WNBA season. She signed an 8-year, $28 million deal with Nike that also included her own signature shoe, which honestly, looking at it now, $28 million for 8 years is an absolute steal for this superstar, when a player like Wemby's Nike deal was rumored to be over $100 million. Caitlin has not only had an incredible rookie season, but she has also transformed the WNBA. She became...
Look, we're not saying Angel Reese doesn't deserve attention, she absolutely does. But how did that become the main image representing your rookie class? Meanwhile, Sophie Cunningham, who, let's be real, actually plays on the same team as Caitlin and has the stats to back it up, is nowhere to be seen. Where's her moment? Where's the photo spread with Caitlin, Aaliyah Boston, and Sophie all bringing power, style, and attitude? Instead, we get one awkwardly cropped photo of Angel Reese looking like she's about to start drama on a BasketballQueen's reunion show. Sophie's out there hitting shots, diving for boards, and playing for the team that's literally the epicenter of the women's basketball revolution, and Nike forgot she even exists? That's not just a bad PR move. That's a full-on PR disaster. It's like being handed Beyoncé, Rihanna, and Adele for a halftime show and choosing Jason Derulo. Make it make sense. Meanwhile, if Adidas had Sophie, she'd be the face of their training line, on giant billboards, throwing sneakers into crowds like candy at a parade. The difference is honestly embarrassing. Now let's get back to this shoe war, because it's about to get real. Picture this, Adidas drops the Clark 1 Fire Edition. It sells out in 4.3 minutes. Kids are crying in the parking lot. Grown men are fighting over toddler sizes. The hype is unreal.
Yeah, she feels as though that this Nike deal has been racially motivated. She believes that there's a disparity in how Nike is prioritizing and rewarding athletes like CaitlinClark. And it's just, she's saying that athletes like CaitlinClark are getting the better deals compared to other athletes, especially women of color. She additionally expressed her frustration through social media in her podcast, The Reese Life, suggesting that Nike was not treating all WNBA players equally.
Meanwhile, Nike is still acting like giving Caitlin a limited release somehow makes it exclusive, when really, it just feels disappointing. They probably thought putting her in a group deal would seem like teamwork, but let's be honest, it looks lazy. More like, let's throw all the women in one package and call it a campaign. Caitlin's fans noticed, and they're angry. If Nike had a suggestion box, it'd be on fire right now. And let's get real, this might be Caitlin's moment to realize her brand doesn't belong buried in a boardroom PowerPoint. She's not a bullet point. She is the whole presentation. She sells out arenas, draws national broadcasts, and drains 40-foot shots like they're nothing. She's built her name, her image, and her influence without Nike, maybe even despite them. So why not go with Adidas? They're hungry. They're bold. And they're clearly ready to bet big on a woman who's already changed the game. They'd probably give her an entire division and name it Clark Performance if she wanted. And let's be honest, her fanbase would follow her like she's Moses parting the sneaker aisles. Meanwhile, Nike's over here scrambling like they're late to gym class, and Caitlin? She's calmly redefining what it means to be a rookie, all while acting like the shoe drama isn't even a thing, which, of course, only makes it more of a thing.
All season long, and it had people thinking to themselves, maybe this deal that we all thought was finished and signed and completed isn't as finished, signed, and completed as we thought, or maybe they're renegotiating. Maybe CaitlinClark on her end pulled back the reins, said, whoa, let's revisit this clause that I said if this doesn't get done in this amount of time, we need to revisit that. People were even speculating that. But today was the Nike quarterly call.